Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have another playthrough of Ascension Tactics solo mode. So pull up a chair and let's see how this game turns out. In this playthrough, we're going to be doing a solo mode playthrough of, I'm calling it the Battle of the Four Shrines. I have no idea what the name of the map is. I didn't see it anywhere, but I call it Battle of the Four Shrines because there are four shrines up here. We've got one here that the tree's over, the sun's over one, the skull's over one, and then the moon is over one. And there's a lot of forest on this map. The enemy will be coming in on this side, and it looks like I have two portals that I can come in through. But I have played this map a few times, and it's much more difficult than Battle of the Three Shrines, in my opinion. But we'll see how this works. In this game, we'll see how well I do. Let's go ahead and see what the villain team is comprised of. Let's look at our boss, and it is Cetra. And I picked her randomly. She has ranged, 6 attack, 12 defense, are going to be tough to kill, 4 honor points, and her surge ability places Cetra on her command marker, and then she attacks all player champions on the battlefield. Any player may discard a lifebound card to prevent this ability. So I've actually played against Cetra on this map before in another game, and she just came up randomly. And I found that the worst part of her surge ability is the fact that she gets to go on the command marker, at least for me it was, because she goes right here on this center shrine. And even if she doesn't kill anything, if there's nothing else around, or if she, none of my champions around her, at the end of the turn, she gets 2 points for this shrine, because on this map, the center shrine is 2, and these other 3 are just 1. And it is kind of difficult to get in here and to get champions off of this center shrine. And so I'm going to try to prevent that as much as I can by buying lifebound cards as much as I can, although there's only one in the market right now, and it's Terran the Wolf King, and he's 6. So I can't even buy that to start with. But I'm going to try to do the best I can. And I do have 3 lifebound champions to try to, to try to combo with buying lifebound cards, but we'll see how it works. And then if you watch the first game, the other 3 villains are the same. We have the Aria Templar, so if he kills somebody, he gets to command Cetra, because she's, again, the only one with 4 honor points or more, and the honor points are the numbers that are inside the star. And then the Demon Slayer, you can't defeat him unless you play a Void card. Rune of Glycanthrope, if there are two lifebound cards in the row over here, then he gets plus 10 attack. So if he were to activate, he wouldn't get that because there's only 1 lifebound card right now. And then my heroes, I have Root, only 2 power to activate. He is not slowed by forest, so that means he don't have to have 2 movement points to move into one of these forest spaces that are on the map. He can just move right into it, and if he attacks from 1, he gets double attack, double damage, which is 10, not double attack. He gets double damage, which would be 10. I got the Spike Vixen. I had her last time double attack, and she only needs 2 to move, 5 defense, 3 attack. Flytrap Witch, kind of expensive, but if I'm going to go with the lifebound thing, if I have her out, she can have ranged if I play another lifebound card. And then if I'm able to defeat something with her, I get to draw a card. I haven't played with her yet. We'll see how she does. A little bit nervous because again, there's no lifebound. There's only 1 lifebound card over there that I can buy. Can't afford it, so I wouldn't even get to use her ability yet. And she costs 4, so we'll see how that goes. And then I did go with the Rune of Glycanthrope because if I can get a lifebound card plus 5, which would be 8, and that's good. There really weren't a lot of good offers over here, in my opinion, from the market. So we'll see how this does. But those are my champions, and AI has their champions. So we'll go ahead. Everything has been shuffled up, and we'll get started with the game. Okay, so let's go and get started. I'll shuffle the scheme deck up a little bit. The first card drawn is going to be Banish the center row. Well, that's good. Maybe I'll get a lifebound card. Deal 2 damage to each player. There's no one on the board, so I'm just going to banish the center row and command Cetra. So she will come out, and she's going to get a move 1, 2, 3, but she can't pass the 4 space because, again, you have to have 2 to move into it, so that's as far as she can go with her base movement of 3. And there's not any cards in the discard pile, so I won't even worry about the bottom, but I think I got everything else, yes. The next card will be Villain Champions get +1 this turn, command the boss. So she will move onto her spot. That's going to end the turn, and they're going to get 2 points because, as I said earlier, the center shrine is worth 2, and she's already in the middle, so that's already going to be a problem for me. Let's see what I can do. All right, my turn. I'm going to play my cards out. And I've got 4 buying power and 3 power to control my champions. So let's see what I want to buy over here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I really like this Loro the Hunter. It's a lifebound card, so that's going to help me with her surge ability. But I get to gain 3 power, and also my champions with ranged can attack up to 5 hexes away. I do have the Flytrap Witch, if you remember, that has ranged if I play an Allegiance, which would be him. So that could help her. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my 4 to purchase this card here. And it doesn't have any kind of ambush effect. I do have 3 power. I think I'm going to activate my Rune of Glycanthrope and just have him move 3 and get this treasure here. So that I get, okay, +5 attack. So that hopefully I can either start trying to control this Honor Shrine or take out Cetra or something. But that's all I can do, so that's the end of the turn. All right, we're back over to the villain. She's going to go first, and each player banishes the top card of their deck. Now, this is what I'm not sure of. I don't have a deck right now, just a discard pile. So I don't know if I'm supposed to flip it, shuffle, and take out, or it just goes away. My guess is it just goes away. That's how I'm going to play it. That's how I'm going to play it. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But I mean, I'm not revealing anything. I'm not drawing anything. So I think it just sits like this. So it just kind of fizzles. And then, but I will command the boss, who is Cetra. Now she has ranged. So, she can get within range of the Rune of Glycanthrope, who has 6 shield, and she has 6 attack, so she's going to be able to kill him. So she will come off, and that's actually kind of good in a way. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. She doesn't need to move that far, just right there to get into range. So she is going to defeat the Lycanthrope. But the reason why that's good is because now she's not going to score 2 points here from the Honor Shrine, at least. But I'm losing one of my champions that I could control. And so that's the first card. The second card is command the skull, then command the tree. So the skull is the Demon Slayer. He's going to come in and move 3 over here to kind of get closer. And then the tree is their Rune of Glycanthrope. He's going to come in and move 3 to get closer over here. And that'll be it, because we don't have 8 cards in a discard pile, so we'll end the turn. And it is still 2-0. It's back to me. So I'm going to play out my cards. And I have 4 money and 1 and 3 power to control a champion. And I think the best thing for me to do is to go with this Land Talker. It's another lifebound hero. Help me with her surge ability, but also it'll help with the Flytrap Witch and whatever, and with my Rune of Glycanthrope. So I'm going to go ahead and get that for 3. And then it gets replaced by a Thicket Familiar. I do have 1 more left over. So I guess I'll go ahead. It's a lifebound hero. I'll go ahead and get that. So that's 4. So that's all I can spend. I can control one of mine with 3, which is going to be the Spike Vixen or Root. And I think I'm going to go ahead and control Root, because he can go 1, 2, 3. Remember, 4 spaces don't affect him. And so I can get that treasure to help me. Now they'll give me a +2 move. And she has ranged, but she cannot, because she's outside, I don't think she can hit him. I think she would have to actually be in the tree herself to be able to hit him. But anyway, I'm going to leave him there and hope for the best. And that'll do it. So I'll end my turn. And it is back to the villain. So their first card, whatever, is villain champions get +1. Command the skull. Okay, he can't reach root, so he'll just come and get on this honor shrine. And we don't do the bottom because there's not 12 cards in the discard pile. The next one, command the tree and then surge. Okay, so the tree is the Rune of Glycanthrope. He'll come up here. And she's supposed to surge. But if you remember, any player, I can discard a lifebound card to prevent this ability. I do have a lifebound card, a Thicket Familiar and Loro the Hunter. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Thicket Familiar to prevent her from being able to surge. And so that means she won't move back. I mean, because if she did, she'd move here, attack him for 6, which would be enough to take him out. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is she'd score 2 more points for him. So good. I'm glad I was able to have the lifebound card in my hand. So that's 2 cards. There are 4 cards in the deck. So unfortunately, deploy occultist on or adjacent to a sun shrine. So I'm going to have to do that, and they're going to get the 2 points anyway, but at least root is still in the game. So we'll end the turn, and as you'll see, they're up to 6 because they got 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 from these shrines. I'm down 6-0, and it is my turn. I'll go ahead and play out my cards. Now, Loro the Hunter gives me 3 power, so I have all of my heroes I can do this time. So he gives me 3, 4, 5 for my banner, 6 for the militia. So I can control the fly trap this turn. And because I played Loro, she would actually get ranged if I wanted to use her. And then I could use one of my other heroes. So I could actually use the Rune of Glycanthrope again if I wanted to, but I probably won't. I'll probably use Root because he might be able to take her out. Let me think about what I want to do here. Okay, I think the first thing I want to do is activate some champions. And as I said, I have 3, 4, 5, 6 power. So the first thing I'm going to do is use 2 of that to activate Root. And I just want to move him up here 1 space. And I'm going to deal, when he deals from a forest space, he deals double damage. So I'm going to deal 10 to Cetra. And she has a total of 12. She needs 12, but he's going to do 10. So I've activated him. And then for the other 4, I'm going to go ahead and activate the fly trap. I do get ranged because of allegiance, because I played Loro the Hunter. And if I slay, I get to draw a card. So I'm going to have her move. I'm going to activate her, and she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, the moon. Use this +2. Let me banish that. I'm going to use the +2 to be able to get her there. And the reason why I can do that, I can still hit Cetra because Loro the Hunter, champions with range, can attack up to 5 hexes away and ignore line of sight. And she is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes away. So that's going to be 6 damage. That's a total of 16. And that's enough to actually defeat Cetra. Okay, the defeat button doesn't work, so I'm going to have to do it myself. But that'll knock her out of the game for 4 points. And the reason why I did that is because I could have actually used this to give her enough damage to do it by herself. And then Root could have just moved here and attacked and taken this honor shrine. And I know I'm kind of giving up those points, but I didn't want to waste this right now. It's only, well, it's 6-4 because I just beat the champion. And I just didn't want to waste a +5 damage. Well, actually, it wouldn't have been enough because she would have only had 6 + 5 is 11. He still would have had to attack, so I wouldn't have been able to take out the cultist, and I didn't want to waste the damage, so I just decided to do it that way, so I still have this for another turn. but Root isn't going to be able to do anything else. But I'm done there, and now I have 2 runic runes to buy, and I've already checked. There's nothing over here that I can afford, so that's going to have to end my turn. But I'll score another point because she's on the moon, and it is 6-5. We're back over here to the villain. The first card, command the moon, and then surge. Okay? Well, I'm not going to be able to stop the surge this time because I don't have a lifebound card, but we'll command the moon first. And that is the Aria Templar. So he's going to come in, go 1, 2, 3. And then she is going to surge, which, if you remember, puts her on the center, her command marker, which she'll have to go next to it because there's a cultist on it. And then she attacks all player champions on the battlefield for 6. So we'll just put her, I guess right there. And that 6 is going to knock him out of the game. So he's exhausted. And she has 6. That'll knock her out of the game. She's exhausted. And we don't have 10 cards in the discard pile. So we'll call that good. And then the next card will be command the moon twice. And we won't do it a third time. So we'll command the moon twice. And that's the Aria Templar. So 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. So now they control all of the honor points. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points they're going to get. That'll do it. So now it's 11-5. And this is the reason why I said it's much more difficult, because now I've got to try to clear off all these shrines if I can. But I can only control 2 of my heroes. And so I'll see what I can do. Because I can't control 1 of them at least, but I've got 5 runes to deal with. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my 5 to buy this Arbiter of the Precipice, mainly because they ambush. I can command a champion for free, and then my Void champions have +5 damage. So I'm going to go ahead and get that, and I'm going to actually use my Rune of Glycanthrope, command him for free. And I'm going to have him come up here and get this treasure and hope that it gives some movement, because if it does, I'll be able to kill a champion this turn. Well, let's see what happens. So he's going to come up, move for 3 to get up here. And it does give movement. And that's what I'm going to need. That's all I'm going to need there. So I've commanded him. So I'm now going to spend the 2 power that I have to command my Spike Vixen, who has double attack. And I guess you apply the +1 before the double attack. So I guess, well, so essentially, if I play this one, she'll get a total of 8, which isn't enough to on its own to defeat any of them, really. Well, yeah, defeat any of them. But I think you can play both of these. And so with both of them together, she will have enough to defeat this Aria Templar, which is probably what I'm going to do, because he's worth more points and she would get a point at the end. So I'm going to play this one to give her a +1 movement and +1 damage. And then this to give a +5. So she's going to be able to attack, double attack for +6 for 18. So I'm going to command her with a +1 movement. She'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring her in. And take out the Aria Templar, which will give me 3 points. And then that's all I can do. So I'm going to end my turn, and I'll score another. It's 11-9. So I caught up a little bit there and took a space away from him. And let's see if I can hold on to it. They got 8 cards in the discard pile. The first villain card is going to be Command, Cetra, and then Surge. And so she does have ranged, and she is right here. So she can't shoot through this way. Let's see. She can actually reach either one of them. So the one with the most defense. So he has 6. She has 5. So she's going to want to take out the Rune of Glycanthrope. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and won't be able to take this treasure. And she's going to deal 6 damage to his 6 defense. So he's gone. But then she surges, and I do have a land talker to keep her from being able to surge. because if she gets to surge, she can attack her, the Spike Vixen, and knock her out of the game. Although this, I still get, there's still another card. It's possible she could still die, but I think I'm going to go ahead and discard this Land Talker so that she cannot surge. And deploy Cultist Honor adjacent to the skull. So that's just going to help hold this one over here. All right, that's one card. The next card, yeah, Commander twice. And so she's going to move down here. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't know if, I don't guess that messes with line of sight. So I guess my Spike Vixen is dead. And it was command again, so she's going to move back up closer to here to help hold the center. And then command a third time, but she doesn't need to move. I don't have any thing. I don't have anybody on there. So that's going to end. And it is now 15-9. So it's getting close to them winning. It's going to be hard for me to take it off. I only have 2 I can work with, because 2 of them get defeated and knocked out. But let's see what happens. I'm going to play all my cards. I've got draw 2, then banish a card from your hand. Okay, actually, before I play all my cards, let me pick those up. I'll just play this one first. So draw 2, banish a card from your hand. Okay, so that'll give me 4 to do here for buying power. Let's see what's over here. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is buy with the 4. Well, I have to banish a card first. I hate to do it. I'm going to banish this militia because I want my 4 buying power to be able to buy this Void Rift Stalker, which lets me ready a champion that I control. Actually, I don't really think it matters too much. I don't think I'm going to win. I'm going to buy this Dog of War because I don't need to ready a champion. I'll just buy the Dog of War. And I only have 2 power. That's why I banished it, because I could only do my 2s, which is Root. So I'm going to go ahead and activate him and have him go start from here, move in 3, and take this treasure, which is +1 move, +1 damage. And that's all I can do. So we'll see what happens. I'll end my turn. I mean, I can't get close enough to take out any of these shrines or even get here to score a point. So that's what I had to do. I do have a Thicket Familiar to stop a surge if I need to. So let's go over here to the villain turn. This could be the last turn of the game, yes, because they're going to score double honor. So command the tree, which is the Rune of Glycanthrope. He's already there, can't reach Root. And command all 3 of those, but I mean, well, let's do it. So I command, wait a minute, there's not 16, so no, I don't do the bottom there. The other card is banish the center row, deal 2 damage to each player champion for each void card. We have 1, so that's 2, 4, and he only has 4, so that's going to kill Root. Okay, and then I'm going to banish that center row. And then command the skull, but he's already on his spot over here. And then I do have 8. Each player discards all void cards, but I don't have any void cards. And then that'll do it. But if you remember, then the villain scores double honor this turn. So we'll end the turn. That brings him up to 19, but actually add another 4. So that is going to be 23-9, and that is the game. And it was a total debacle, total destruction. And really, that's how some of the games have gone against this map. I've had a hard time winning with any combination of champions, and no matter what the boss is. I don't know if I'm playing it wrong and if I'm making bad decisions. Maybe I am, but I mean, I did win 1 game, but I made some errors in that game that probably would have made a difference. You know, I just have to say this is a tough map. I'm not sure what to do or how to win. You know, once they get all those cards in the discard piles, it seems like they get to activate everybody on the board. Cetra is always moving to the middle and then attacking everybody. And I could have gotten players with a higher defense, but the ones that had high defense didn't have a lot of attack, and she's got 12 defense. So, maybe I don't just need to always try to go after her, but I really wasn't necessarily trying to go after her. It's just how it worked out. I really couldn't reach the other two shrines too many times, and with her being able to attack the way she would, I felt like I needed to get her out. But anyway, that's playthrough of what I'm calling Battle of the 4 Shrines. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for any future games that I have coming out. And until then, I'll save you a seat at the table.